But usually when you fire up these two teams, they just kind of square off a little bit. They hold all their. It's my experience is that you go to these games thinking this could be a heater tonight, right? It'll be intensely played. But primary for both teams is they're trying to get their game right, feel good, and then get ready. So I don't. We played Tampa, I don't know, about a month ago, and we had played Tampa at the end right before Christmas, and it was on. It was quite an affair. And when I thought coming to the rink, it's going to be the same game. I thought this will be something else tonight, and it was a church game. It was nobody was chirping. Nobody, they're just getting up and down. I mean, both teams played the game actually respectfully. Now, our game is starting, I think our game's starting to round to where we need it to get. It's starting to become a little bit more physical, and that there might be just something that gets the game going tonight, but it won't be the context of the game. It'll be two teams making sure their game is starting to round the way they want it, I think. We'll see.
As far as bodies go, it looked like you got a bunch of guys other than Bennett and
yeah.
I guess Boquist are sitting there tonight.
Yeah, we've got two of the three that I sat out came off kind of an injury concern that we have, and they're guys that want to play games, so that they came out and I didn't need to give them another day. But nothing's really changed on anybody else. I don't have Bennett in. I just don't think he's going back in. We're gonna take the time for the rest of the season with Sam Bennett. Kulikov is rounding into this weekend toward the end, but I'm not sure I'm playing him back to back. But we think Cooley comes back in. Matthew skated this morning. There's nothing new there. He's trending. I think that's about it. Forz is good. He feels good today, so he goes back in.
Looking at Bennett, is this something that just happened? Is
Yeah.
this something he's been playing through?
But both. It's not. It hasn't. It was over the course of the road trips, and we can manage it. But he can't play the game at his best. So he could play, but it doesn't make any. We got to get him to as close to 100%. We think we might be able to do that, but we got to do that off ice.
What do we call
Upper body.
Upper.
Yeah.
Barkov took line rushes today. Is he in?
He's in. Yeah, he's in.
Is there any concern that Bennett would miss game one of the playoffs?
No, none, zero.
How much of a benefit do you think that game off for the guys who are coming back in tonight will be for those guys?
Well, I'm hoping it's huge, right? We're 9 games in 15 days this month with 3 sets of back-to-backs, but that's coming off 10 of 14 on the road. So we've been in one. And I got Sam Reinhart was going into playing 86 games this year, and he's played more games than anybody else in the NHL in the last 2. So pulling the guy on back-to-back seemed to make some sense, so we can come back in. Yeah, we think one off for those in this block of games is all they needed to get right. 2 of them we had to get something fixed, and if it wasn't fixed, they weren't going back in tonight. And I wouldn't put them in at 95%, so they're good. They're right and they're ready.
And with Jesper, is this just an opportunity to look at who we are?
Yeah, it was positional, right? So 2 games ago, I don't know, in Montreal, I don't even remember who we've been playing. It's been so many games. He was fantastic in that game, and I thought in Detroit he was starting to wear a little bit, so it just made sense that he would be the guy that comes out. And then some of it's, when you put the lineup on the board, he's going, well, I got an extra left winger. So it's the left winger that's coming out tonight, and then I'll make that adjustment going forward.
Pretty tough for a guy to take Sergei Bobrovsky's net, but did you see signs of a number 1 goalie when you had Stolarz at all?
I thought that coming out of January, his entire game changed. And I'll be clear about this. I don't know anything about goaltending, like nothing. So I can only tell you what it looked like from the bench and from kind of the middle of the ice in practice. I just thought he got to a structure in his game. We played against the New York Islanders at home on back-to-back, I think. I think it was on back-to-back in January, and he stopped 41. We should have got beat by 10 that night. And that, to me, was kind of when he took off. So that was, and Robbie Tallis, who I think is just brilliant with these guys when we have players like Alex Lyon kind of come in and, carry our team for a while. And Stoley was really important for us in that push last year. He said that right from training camp when the year started. This guy's a player. This guy's a goalie. He's just had some injuries, and he's been on some teams that it's tough to kind of get that confidence to get to that role, to get feeling good. But Robbie Tallis never wavered from his belief in Stoley.
He said that he doesn't want to be considered one of those weirdo goalies. That
Yeah.
He wants to be one of the guys. What did you notice about his interaction?
So that's interesting, because that would be the way that you would describe him, not the weirdo part, one of the boys part. I know that Sergei loved him as a partner, because he told me that directly. And we loved him here in the room. And he's one of those guys that when he got the opportunity, he got a payday a little bit. Like, he had earned it. Everybody was happy. We loved to kept him, but it's in that Ryan Lomberg mix. Love the guy. He's great for us. Good for you and your family. I hope it works out great for you.
Carter Verhaeghe hasn't scored in 13 games.
Yeah.
What level of concern with where his game's at right now?
We're working on it. The game, I don't know if the concern is the right word. He has a certain style, and he scores in certain environments in the game, and we haven't, as a team, been in the environment. So it went like this with him. And like, our scoring is down across the board with our team, not a major concern. He scored some goals. He went on a bit of a goal run there. Okay, his game is back. And then he went 5 or 6 games where he was getting chances and he just couldn't put them in the net. And then it's kind of like, okay, we don't need to talk about scoring. The chances are there, that's right. And then all the lines started to move, right? We started to get injured. There's people in and out. Not worried about the scoring with Carter. What we're trying to get back to is a certain style of game, and it's more of a playoff game for him. That's where he excels, in the competition of close quarter combat. And you don't find that game as much right now. So that's kind of where I think his game is at. George, you had something?
I was just gonna say, there's video evidence of you wearing goalie gear, so.
Not all of
that
it,
you
but
don't, you don't know anything about goalie.
I was looking for the helmet there too, so they wouldn't actually see my face, but the Stoley leaves his helmet out on the bench. I didn't want to put Bob's on because there's a whole bunch of superstitions, and he's been wearing it for 4 hours, so yeah, it took me about 3 days to get off the floor, and it took me 2 weeks to get over it. Very graceful. I thought it was very graceful. It was ugly. It was just ugly. Yeah, Sergei plays tonight.
And then, Paul, we didn't get update on Sturm. Is he trending?
Yeah, so he cleared today, but I wanted him on the ice with a big group of guys today to get through it, get a good hard workout, and he'll be available next game. Our condolences to the Milan family for the passing of Greg. Over 30 years, we all crossed paths a bunch of times, and Greg was a guy that we got to know, and for whatever reason, he ended up doing a lot of our games and got to know the coaches. I think they ended up at the elbow room one night about 10 or 12 years ago. So shocking today, and we're going to miss him. He was a great personality, a great friend to our team and our coaching staff. We felt we had a great relationship with him, so we were really sad for the family today. Thank you.